This is the exercise when you learn to combine your movement with your breathing. You also learn how to be aware of other people. The objective of the game is for everyone to move together. Sometimes with the eyes closed as well, so you're not cheating by looking at everyone else. Notice the smoothness of the movement as well. People are getting up without using their arms. If you think that's easy, you should try it. So while before the movement was done according to my guidance, to my voice, now people are going to do it on their own to see if they can tune into the other person's breathing. This drill is useful not just for bodyguards, but for people who want to develop their awareness of their environment and of other people. Here Michael shows the work with the real sword, real sharp Cossack blade. We decided to put this section in for two reasons. One, because it shows very smooth movement and sword as a training tool to improve your movement. And two, because this is pretty rare footage of Michael showing you how to use the sword. And as Martin is becoming more comfortable with the real blade, Michael's movement is beginning to accelerate. Notice the planes in which the blade moves, the subtle changes of the planes, and how sometimes Michael guides the sword, but sometimes the sword guides Michael, and he never stops the movement. One movement smoothly flows into the other. And watch the hands. If you leave your arms sticking out too much, they might get cut. If you leave your head behind, you will be without a head. Same with the feet. It is incredibly intimidating working with a weapon like this. You truly need to do this with an instructor who understands what's going on. You need to learn how to find a safe place in the space around you. Please pay attention to Michael's wrist and the smooth transition of the blade from one plane into the next. When you're doing work like this, your breathing needs to be smooth and uninterrupted, and your breathing needs to match the movement of your opponent as well, as we've seen in the previous exercise. Sharper movement with the sword will require sharper responses from you, and therefore sharper breathing patterns. More gentle movement with the sword will allow you to get away with smoother breathing yourself. And now we have two opponents. Please have a look at Michael's footwork. Note the direction of Michael's gaze. He's not looking at any one opponent in particular. He's able to take in information from the entire room. Nice touch, Val. The sword is a weapon with a very mild curve in it, and it does not have a handguard. The weapon is mainly used off horseback, but also can be used by foot soldier. One of the stories that Michael tells about other people, of course, never about himself, is that a group of visiting swordsmen turned up in his village once, just putting on a show. And one of their tricks was to throw up a big chunk of meat, and by the time it came down, it was chopped into nice cubes, ready to make a kebab. Sometimes the weapon can slice, sometimes it can stab. If you don't have a sword, you can always use the stick of any kind to do the exercise. The idea is for you not to get hit. A sharp pressure on a small area produces pain, and people take it in different ways. Breathing, movement, all of those things. Cossack whip is a crowd control weapon that is not widely used anymore, but was very popular in the older days. You see the different psychological makeup and different psyche of the person. Some people exhibit a lot of movement, some people exhibit very little movement. From the medical point of view, the stimulation to an area like this will help improve your circulation and move the stagnant blood around. In addition, it forces you to breathe, because if you do not breathe, I promise you it hurts a lot more. Here, Chris is using movement mainly to dissipate the impact of the strike. The work was done without emotions. Michael's objective was not to hurt anyone, but rather to teach them. I've asked Michael to show some stuff that he's never shown before. And here it is. How do you restrain someone with a short piece of rope? You explore the grasping reflex of the person, and you use the rope to restrain them. Keep your form and break theirs. If your attacker is wearing a watch, it becomes even more uncomfortable for him. The harder I try, the more tangled up I seem to become, to the point where I'm nearly choking and turning quite red. I'm not asking him any more questions. This is some unique footage of Michael showing work against the gun. We've asked Paul, a serving police officer, to show some of the typical attacks with a weapon. And the concepts that we have been applying during the seminar are still applicable here. Escaping from the line of attack, controlling the weapon, controlling the attacker. Michael is quite an expert with a pistol. And sometimes the work he's showing is so rapid, it's hard to see what's really going on. When Michael actually regains control of the weapon, notice how he is holding it. And notice how different it is from the standard Hollywood stances. I have seen Michael do incredible things with a pistol, whether it's hitting a target that's more than 100 meters away with such a short barrel weapon, or whether it's disarming people. Here Michael demonstrated that it's the person that does the damage, not the weapon, and he controlled the person. A few closing comments from Michael. I'm really pleased that everyone enjoyed. The silence implies your agreement. Of course, I understand how to get agreement out of people. Normally, if you hold a pistol in your hand and you ask people, "Did everyone like it?" The response is quite predictable. Thank you very much, everyone. We hope you enjoyed watching this tape as much as we enjoyed making it, but please remember, there is no substitution for real training. We hope to see you in class soon.